So I talked about it earlier this offseason, and it finally came to fruition. The Montreal Canadiens dealt Max Domi to the Columbus Blue Jackets for Josh Anderson. They also included a third-round pick in the deal. So how did we get here with Max Domi and the Montreal Canadiens? I'm going to dive right in. Max Domi was not happy with his usage during the postseason, and I understand his perspective, but from the Montreal Canadiens' point of view, you had two young centers in Nick Suzuki and Jesperi Kotkaniemi prove that they have what it takes to be top six centers in the National Hockey League, and then you have a Selke candidate in Phillip Danault patrolling that third line. So Max Domi was pretty much left to that fourth line center position because Max Domi is a center, he is not a winger. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the actual deal at hand here. The Montreal Canadiens acquired Josh Anderson from the Columbus Blue Jackets in exchange for a third-round pick and Max Domi. My first initial reaction of the trade was that I thought Max Domi could fetch the Canadiens a little more value in return, but then Arpon Basu of The Athletic posted some interesting points on Twitter stating that it was a kind of a supply and demand situation here. The Montreal Canadiens didn't have the suitors for Max Domi, while there was plenty of suitors for Josh Anderson and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Supply and demand, it played a huge factor in a deal like this. I think both these teams had reservations about signing these players to long-term deals. Montreal had that logjam at center down the middle of the ice, and it wasn't clear that Domi would be a fit in Montreal for much longer. While Columbus had reservations about Anderson's injury history, they know what he can provide when he's healthy, and it sounds like after this trade that he is 100% healthy. He suffered a torn labrum last season, but by all accounts, he is now 100% healthy and cleared to play hockey next season. So what are both teams getting in this trade? The Montreal Canadiens in Josh Anderson, they're getting that big-bodied, power-forward right winger that they've been desperately looking for, and he has that shoot-first mentality that is very important. The Habs have a lot of playmaking centers and even wingers. They needed that guy that can put the puck in the net, and Anderson could be that guy for them for a very long time. This is a player that comes in at 6'3", 220 pounds, and he was 17th over the last 3 seasons in shots per 60 minutes. This season, it was a small sample size for him because of his injuries, but he did have a poor output, but there was very good underlying numbers despite that poor output of points for Anderson. He's the type of player that can play on the penalty kill, on the power play, and 5-on-5, and thrive in all 3 types of situations. And like I said, he's that big winger that Montreal has been craving for a long time. With Max Domi, the Columbus Blue Jackets are getting that perfect second-line center that can play behind Pierre-Luc Dubois. Domi had a 72-point season just 1 year ago before putting up 44 points this last season when he was bounced around the Canadiens lineup. This is the type of player that will be a perfect fit for a shoot-first player and Oliver Bjorkstrand on that second line in Columbus. I think Domi will be a good fit in Columbus as well, although I'm not sure how he's going to jive with Columbus' head coach, John Tortorella. Overall, when I look at this trade, I think both teams ultimately got what they wanted, so I guess you could call it a win-win. Value-wise, I think Montreal paid a little bit more than they would have liked, but they also got the piece that was highly coveted around the National Hockey League and should be a great fit in the Canadiens' top 6, whether he plays on Nick Suzuki's wing or Jesperi Kotkaniemi's wing. That's it for me today from Cook's Corner. Comment below who you think won the trade, and as always, throw me a thumbs up on this video. I'm Zach Cook. We'll see you later.